I have a question about home title lock companies.
All right.
And how they differ from title insurance that you have to buy, when you transfer property.
Okay, Jack, that is a great question, and they are two completely different things that have similar names. So when you buy and sell real estate here in the state of Florida, you always get title insurance. That title insurance customarily is paid for by the seller. It is a one-time premium. It will protect the buyer as long as the buyer owns that piece of property. It is an insurance policy to the buyer that the buyer got good title to that piece of property, free and clear of all liens, mortgages, encumbrances, etc. So standard procedure, always done. Title lock insurance is optional. You see it advertised on the TV all the time these days. When you look at that advertisement, you throw up your hands and think, oh my goodness, I've got to have that. But realistically, you don't have to have it, Jack. That's our opinion. Jack, when we see real estate title theft occurring, it is for a limited situation. That limited situation is a vacant residential buildable lot. Vacant, meaning there's no building on it. Residential, meaning it's meant to build a home on it, and typically it's happening in the city somewhere. So if you own a vacant residential buildable lot somewhere that's not right down the street from you, it's in another county, another state, it would be worthwhile to have title lock insurance on it. Otherwise, if it's just a standard house or it's your home, we find it's not necessary, and I would suggest that you save your money, Jack. Chrissy, what do you think about this?
Yes, you are right, Tom, that unless you have a vacant residential buildable lot, you would be aware if anybody was coming around to your home.
Yeah.
You would be aware if a survey or anybody that's associated, if a home is being sold and transferred from one party to another, there will be certain things that have to take place, including a survey.
Yeah,
right?
Survey, inspectors,
Yes.
appraisers, you name it.
Right.
People going to be all around your property. You're going to know that
Correct.
something's up.
Correct.
That's why it's not going to happen to your house or even your rental house. Now, Jack, whatever county you happen in, these days, you can call your county appraiser's office
Correct.
and ask them to put you on notice that if any deeds are done that are in your name or a similar name, they're going to give you notice by email, and I get those occasionally myself.
Right. So every county in Florida, you need to check in with your county, but it seems as if most of them now have a program a free program where they are trying to help the residents of that county. And what they will do is they will give you alerts.
Yep.
So they will send you alerts, they will email you or mail you alerts. And we now know that clients are sharing with us that they are getting these alerts.
Yeah.
So they will often call us, and we're more than happy to speak to you about it, because oftentimes, again, these alerts, good for the counties, they are wanting to inform you on any deed, including if we do a deed for the client.
Exactly.
So again, all in a good way, but we let them know, good, that's standard procedure. They're letting you know, but you are fine and okay under those circumstances. Of course, the whole idea of these free programs putting out by the county is to give you a peace of mind and give you a protection where, back to your original question, you would not have to pay for title lock.
Yeah. So again, we find it not necessary unless you have a vacant residential buildable lot in another part of the state or another state. It certainly could be worthwhile for you to get the title lock insurance. Hey, everybody, my name is Tom Olson. The name of the show is Olson on Law. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in just a few minutes. We were talking about title insurance. And title insurance, just to remind everybody, it is standard procedure. Whenever you buy or sell real estate here in the state of Florida, standard procedure, there's going to be a title insurance policy.
Correct.
It is traditionally paid for by the seller. There's no law that says it has that way, but that's traditionally the way it's done. It's a one-time premium. It's going to protect that buyer as long as the buyer owns that property. It's going to ensure to the buyer that they have good title to that piece of property, free and clear of all liens, encumbrances, and forgeries. So when we talk about vacant lots, what properties are being stolen these days? They are vacant residential buildable lots. And so we had a client that they bought a couple of vacant buildable residential lots, got title insurance, think everything is golden, we're all good to go. And then lo and behold, a couple months later, they find out that the deeds that were given to them from the seller were forgeries.
But the
So they don't really own it.
But the title insurance that they have would say that they, as the buyer, are protected.
That's where
Is that
title,
correct?
that's where title insurance comes into play. That's what you're paying for insurance for. So these clients that bought these vacant residential buildable lots thought they owned these lots. They were going to build some spec houses on it. Now they find out they don't own it because the deeds that were given to them were forgeries by people pretending to be the seller. There's a whole scam process going on in there.
Oh, absolutely. And we know this is where certainly we do want to alert listeners out there. Is there scams going on? Absolutely. Because I know we're always saying to people, oh, you don't need title lock. You don't need title lock. That does not mean that we're saying that there's not scams and fraud going on out there. We're just saying to you as the listener, unless you have a vacant residential buildable lot, if you do have those, then that's when you want to check into it, or you want to talk to an attorney, or you want to talk to somebody about it. But if you don't have that particular type of property, then you don't have to be concerned about getting title lock, for example, on your home that you live in. However, we are seeing, and we do know that vacant residential buildable lots, there is fraud going on. So back to what you're saying, Tom. So let's just say the innocent buyers that buy the vacant residential buildable lot, they got title insurance. They believe they can now start building these spec homes.